Hey everybody, it's Stephanie Noel from Mod City Mag, and welcome to the Mod City Music Business 101 Bootcamp. Each day this week, I'm going to post a different video discussing a different element of an artist's career in the music industry. This video concept kind of came recently to me when I was talking with some friends who weren't involved in the music industry, and they just were really intrigued about the different elements that makes an artist's career up, and they just really didn't have any background knowledge, so I was throwing out terms that I figured everybody knew, but they didn't, and I thought it would be kind of cool to make a video just for people who don't have any background in the music industry, just to have the basic understanding of what makes up a band or a singer's career. This video isn't for those who have been in the industry for many years or have well understanding or have been to a music business program. Again, it's just for the everyday person, or for those who are just starting out in their music career and just kind of want a basic understanding of what could possibly come in the future for you. I also want to just say that I am not a music business expert. I've not had a formal education in music business. I have worked in radio, I worked at a label, I've worked with some artists on the side doing booking and management stuff, so I do have 8 years of experience and have read some books, but I definitely probably do not have enough knowledge to go too deep. But I think this will be a really helpful video for those of you who just want a kind of overview. The different parts we're going to focus on this week are artist management, booking, the making of a record label, publicity, and then on Friday we'll discuss some miscellaneous things such as lawyers, distributors, publishers, and some other different key elements in an artist's career. Today I thought we'd focus on management, and there are 3 different managers in an artist's career. There's a tour manager, a day-to-day manager, and a business manager. Hang on with me for a second. I'm going to have to manipulate my little poster here. Everything's handwritten and very homemade, but I'm going to just zoom in here for my little zoom by moving my music stand up. And I apologize if you can't read this. I'm going to make sure and make that chart into a handout and post this in the descriptions of each of these videos too. So if you can't see this, this is more notes for me than for you, but I'll make sure to post it. Alright, let's start artist management. So the first manager an artist will oftentimes have in their career is a tour manager. No-name bands can have tour managers, big-name bands have tour managers. It's often the first person that steps in and helps out a band in their career. Tour managers can be friends of the band, it can be a band member themselves if they're just an independent artist, and they are the people who, as it says, takes care of the band while they're on tour. They can also be called road managers. They are in charge of a big chunk of planning ahead of time before the band even goes on the road, and that is called advancing shows. So I have advancing here. It's kind of a fancy way of confirming and making sure everything is ready. Oftentimes tour managers will get a list of shows that a band is going on and contacts for the venues that the bands will be playing at, and they are the ones who call up those contacts at the venue or the place that the band is going to play and talk with the people there and make sure that they have the right sound and lighting, that they have the right stage size for the bands, any little detail that the band might need to know about that show or that venue, where to park their van or their bus, anything, that happens in that advancing process. So the tour manager really makes sure ahead of time that the tour runs as smoothly as possible by taking care of a lot of those details beforehand. They also, oftentimes, in the beginning stages, when a band is just starting out independently, they will be the ones that are in charge of routing tours or even helping with some booking stuff. We'll get into that tomorrow. But they will be the ones that actually look at a map and say, hey, we can go from here to here in this time. Where will we stop and stay? Where, how fast do we have to go to get there? That kind of stuff. All that routing. They also have, of course, all the other on-the-road duties. So while the routing and advancing happens before they even hit tour, on tour, or go on tour, then they have all their duties while they are on tour. And these, again, can be a wide range of duties depending on where the artist is in their career. Again, when an artist is first going on the road, oftentimes these tour managers are doing a lot of these duties. And they can be anything from driving the van. They can be the time managers, which is probably the main career, or the main reason that a tour manager is needed, is to make sure the band is there on time for sound checks and arrive on time for the show. They oftentimes are lighting and sound engineers in the beginning for an artist who can't afford their own sound tech to come on tour. The same as with gear, they take care of guitars, and they are guitar techs. Again, once an artist is kind of bigger name, they have their own entourage of people, like a guy just who takes care of guitars and tunes them. But many times you'll see, if you're at a concert, guitarists switch out guitars. A tour manager could be that person handing guitars. They are the main point of contact, like we mentioned, for the venue. So the minute a band arrives at a show, they are the person that goes and talks to the venue, as the liaison between the artist and the venue. And then another thing is they oftentimes are the merch manager. You know, the people that sell t-shirts and albums after and between the show. Many times tour managers are that person standing behind the table in the beginning. Again, as an artist advances in their career, they have other people they bring on the tour who have that specific role. Tour managers typically make a percentage, or they make their money by a percentage on the actual shows that they are traveling with. So whether it's the artist is getting a set fee, say an artist is getting $500 for that show, they will get 10% of that. So they'll make $50 on that show, or they'll make a percentage on the merch they sell, or both. Oftentimes not a flat fee, definitely percentages when it comes to management. The big thing about road managers is you have to love to travel and be very flexible. Tour managers' jobs are very, very difficult. I think they don't get enough credit. People think that they're just, with the band, hanging out with the band, but they are really what is keeping the band going. And long hours of driving in, really tiny vans and cars and stuff in the beginning. And it gets a little more glamorous as bands grow, but you definitely have to be pretty flexible to be a tour manager and be thinking on your feet, too. Next, we're going to discuss day-to-day managers. Day-to-day managers are often come into play once an artist hits a certain part in their level in their career. Typically, they have built a pretty good fan base, and they're kind of showing signs that they're going to be rather successful and ultimately get signed. Oftentimes, day-to-day managers are the people who help bands get signed as well. A little bit to describe some of their duties is they are the right-hand man of an artist. They are the representative, the liaison between every element of an artist's career. They have to pretty much be the best friend of the artist. They have to believe wholeheartedly that they're going to be successful. Many times, artist managers take on clients because they believe in them. They are going to take them on for free. They're not going to make money at first, but they know they're going to be successful, and when they are successful, they make a lot of money. Artist managers can be one person, or it can be a team. There are artist management companies, and then there are just individuals who are independently contracted managers. Some of the duties that they do is scheduling is a huge thing. They basically manage the artist's career. So when it comes to what they're doing that day, whether it's interviews or touring or going to the studio, they make sure that the artist knows where they need to be, at what time, and what they need to be doing. They oftentimes, again, in the beginning of the process, if they're an artist that are just up and coming, they are the promoter. They are the person that represents that artist in the music community, whether it's pushing their music to a label saying, hey, I have this artist you need to check out. They can be promoting on the web. They help a lot with social media. Sometimes artists don't control their own social media, and managers are running that for them if they need that extra assistance. They just push and promote that artist in any outlet possible when maybe they don't have some of the other elements that we'll talk about later this week yet. They are really ultimately kind of the person who are in charge of the career growth of the artist. Many of them have been in the industry for a long time. They understand what does work and what doesn't work. It's oftentimes told to artists to always work with a manager who's been in the industry for a while, not a manager who's just starting off, because you want somebody who has established contacts in the industry. They are definitely one of the the people who helps with travel and booking travel when it comes to artists, different appearances or different things they need to be at. Sometimes they assist with routing of tours as well, so that's a big thing. And again, overall security of an artist, physical security, financial security, they watch out for that artist so that they're not getting taken advantage of from any of the different elements. They, again, are the liaison between the artist and their record label, the artist and their booking agency, the artist and the publicist. Again, they are super, super close. Oftentimes, they can be considered babysitters of an artist or a parent of an artist because they see the overall career of the artist and they want to protect it, and yet they watch over them and they make sure that they're doing the right things they need to do and that they're not making any mistakes. So in a way, it can kind of be a babysitter position. You have to be on call all the time if you're an artist manager, day-to-day manager. You have your cell phone ready because those artists are going to call you in the middle of the night when their van's broken down, they don't know what to do. They are going to call you when their flights are canceled. They're going to call you when they said something wrong in an interview and they don't know what to do. You have to have a really close relationship, and you really have to give your all in artist management. The one biggest thing about being an artist manager is that it's definitely the area in the music industry that you can make the most money. Day-to-day managers make a percentage ultimately off of every element of an artist's career, whether it comes to merchandise sales, CD sales, shows, trying to think of anything else, any kind of promotion, any area that the artist is bringing in money, they're getting a percentage, oftentimes 10 to 15%. Really good managers can make up to 20%, and successful artists such as, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, all those people, their managers are making good money. So that's definitely an area, if you're interested in getting into, where you'll probably make the most money. Finally, the last artist manager we're going to talk about today is the business manager. I have to be honest in that I don't have an extreme amount of, background in business management, but from my understanding is they're the manager that takes care of all the money-related matters. They oftentimes are CPAs, accountants who have worked in the music industry before and with other clients and know how to protect an artist's money. Day-to-day managers can do it as well, but they oftentimes have so many other things on their plate that they don't have time to be managing money as well. And it's just safe. They work hand in hand with day-to-day managers, but business managers know money really well, and they know how to help artists save. They're oftentimes consultants and help the artist's career growth, because if artists are making poor financial decisions in the beginning of their career, it's not going to provide them with a lot of sustainability. So they are a big part of that for an artist. Again, they can take a percentage of all money-related matters in an artist's career, or they can just get a flat fee, like hourly fee, for working for an artist or on a specific project. So yeah, so those are the 3 different managers, again, tour managers, day-to-day managers, and business managers that make up an artist's career. So I hope that helps with a little more understanding on that. And tomorrow we're going to be talking a little bit about booking. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment below, and I will do my very best to answer those or to help find a resource that will help answer your questions.